Mayo Zambada decided to hand himself in with Joaquin. Others are saying Joaquin tricked him,
Mm.
saying that they were supposed to enter. Hey, El Chapo's son set up drug lord El Mayo Zambada from the Zambada part of the Sinaloa cartel. Let's take a look at. Imagine, RJ. Imagine your life is dangerous, and that turning yourself in is the only way to escape this life. This is the story of Joaquin Guzman Lopez, also one of the sons of El Chapo. He did the unthinkable. He decided to set up a deal where he turned himself in. Tired of the constant danger, betrayal, he orchestrated a plan to also take one of the most elusive figures in the cartel business with him. That turned into this situation. Let me move that along. On Friday. Was it Friday? No, it was on Thursday when it happened. There was videos released on the fact that El Mayo and Joaquin were arrested in Texas, as they say. Texas Bajo, I think. Anyway, they were arrested, and as you can see here, this was when the plane landed in Texas. You see two DEA agents walking towards the plane. There's a lot being said about this situation. Some are saying that it was El Mayo who was tired, and with a couple of others, they were offered by the U.S. team. They were offered deals to surrender themselves, and being tired, El Mayo Zambada decided to hand himself in with Joaquin. Others are saying Joaquin tricked him, saying that they were supposed to enter or go to Mexico City to check out some brand new assets they were going to buy. Still not clear which is the truth. I think we'll never know the truth, because of course it would look crazy if the leader of the group would give up this easy. But of course, the man is 78 years old, so don't forget that. El Mayo has been one of the most elusive drug kingpins since forever. He was part of the game since the Guadalajara cartel. For those who don't know, maybe you've watched Narcos Mexico, or one of these others Netflix series, El Señor de los Cielos, all those things. Guadalajara was one of the big cartels that were put together by Felix Gallardo. And that's where he started handing out plazas and making sure there is no war between the factions, bringing stability. After Felix was caught up in the situation with Kiki Camarena, he's still doing time, I think. Not sure. I don't think he passed away yet. But the whole bunch of people were caught up in that situation, were arrested, and all these factions went their own way. You had the Sinaloa cartel that was headed by Mayo, and most notably, the one people know best is Chapo. But according to the structure, and everyone has speculated or slightly known, is that Mayo is actually the lead man in Sinaloa cartel. You had back then also El Azul was a former, let's call it the FBI of Mexico back then. He was part of that, but he also was part of the Sinaloa cartel, which is, if you think about it, uh, law enforcement, and the underworld going hand in hand in that situation. Now, Azul, the people have been saying El Azul passed away a long time ago, but you never know. There, El Mayo was an elusive character. There's only been one interview of him in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. There's only like two pictures of him all this time. So he's not a, let's call it a Hollywood character you can write any movies about, because there's no spectacular getaways like El Chapo, because they never caught him. RJ.
Yeah. What's very interesting to see is on the two pictures you see of El Mayo, the two pictures that were made of El Mayo during all this time. You don't see any flashing. You don't see anything. You don't see anyone that stands out. It's not like a you don't see any brands. You don't see, it's just a very, 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 very simple man. You might walk, you can pass him on the streets, you wouldn't know who he is. He doesn't boast, he doesn't ride in Cadillacs. Well, he probably does when he's in his place, but when he's in a safe zone, but he's just like a very, very normal person. So you might think he's a farmer, you might think he's a, like just your everyday Juan, but he's actually not. He's actually like the boss of bosses.
Yeah,
that's like them, and that's what I admire. That's why there's this quote: "Work in silence, and your success will make the noise." And this, I mean, I'm not. So just to be clear, I'm not glorifying the criminal world, the underworld. I am just saying there is something that can be admired, that we can learn from watching these types of people. In business, you also have them, right? You also have rich people who are, you wouldn't know that they're rich. And I think one thing that I think it was a conversation that we had over like 10 years ago for sure, man. And you pointed out to me,
story.
Yeah, because you pointed out to me that you have the rich, and you have rich and famous. But a lot of people think that being famous automatically means being rich.
Yeah.
But you actually need to make a choice. Do you want to be rich, or do you want to be famous? And sometimes to be rich, you need to go the famous route. But you need to keep your eyes on the prize, which is rich. Because as soon as you fall in love with the fame, you might lose sight of the rich. So this guy is like, for sure, rich, and not famous at all. So we all know El Chapo. I mean, El Chapo stories is crazy. We talked about it, like the Prison Break. This is like real life Prison Break.
3 or 4
prison breaks and just escapes, etc.
Escapes.
I'm more interested in knowing the story of El Mayo. Just like when you look at the mob, I remember there was a mobster that, what was it? So I remember watching a documentary of the five
Family.
families, right? The five families of New York. And